They wiggle. They jiggle. They look seductively straight into the camera and promise you paradise. And then deliver you into a living hell. It's a story as old as the Bible. And it's a real-life story here in Texas, where a certain developer is employing very young women to pose scantily clad on social media in order to lure would-be Hispanic immigrant home buyers into buying land at their development. Once in that promised paradise quickly turns into something else, a neighborhood prone to flooding, diseased waters, unsanitary living conditions and crime. What seems like the very den of Satan. But you would never know it looking at these young women's Instagram. They are half naked. They are selling unsuspecting immigrants a very sexy slice of the American dream. The developers of Terrenos, Houston and Colony Ridge are using young immigrant girls to do their dirty work. And people are falling for it. By the droves. It's right there on their social media pages. Beautiful girls. Beautiful houses. Land. And it's all over TikTok. Come live with us. Claim your dream today. It looks too good to be true. Because it is. Keep watching. These are young girls who are social media obsessed and don't care about the life-ruining consequences of what they are doing. The people they are hurting. The families who are suffering. All you have to do is wave money in their faces and they are good to go for social media and possibly more. So what's the problem with using young, poor, naive girls as Instagram and TikTok models to do your bidding? Well, for starters, these young women have often escaped horrible conditions in their home country, poverty, corruption, war, and they have no idea what they are doing and who they are hurting. They just love being on camera and getting paid for it. Terrenos, Houston and Colony Ridge, owned by developer John Harris, are recruiting these girls straight out of high school Jeffrey Epstein style. One girl in particular just turned 21 and found her way into real estate without going through any of the correct channels. All she does is smile and wave and promise would-be home buyers the American dream. You might see her heavily made-up face smiling and waving. Wearing tight midriff-bearing clothing and shaking her assets seductively for the camera. Driving a Mercedes. But in reality it's unclear what she does or who she does to keep her job. Word on the street is that she's doing more than just posing. We think a certain sales manager could tell us so much more. Or an ex-wife could. For it's she and their kids who are paying the price for whatever it is these girls are bringing to the table. Are they there for other purposes? You be the judge. At some point there has to be some accountability. People are lying and making promises they just can't keep. The customers. To these all too young and no longer innocent girls. And then they are turning around and promising a paradise that doesn't exist, making easy money by being easy. Conning people who eventually invest their life savings to have it stolen right out from under them while law enforcement and government agencies do nothing. Meanwhile, the reports keep coming in from those who have been illegally foreclosed on by John Harris and his ilk. Because meanwhile, it's business as usual at Terrenos, Houston. Mothers who are trying to get anyone, from the government to listen to what has happened in their community. Neighbors foreclosed on and now living in their car. Others with no water, bathing and drinking out of a neighbor's hose. People who have been swindled into buying land for $80,000 only to find out that it's worth a tiny fraction of that when tragedy strikes, and they are forced to sell. Tens of thousands of dollars.